everyone from wherever you join. Welcome to day 12 of Copilot Studio training program. From today's class onwards, we are starting our advanced topics for Copilot Studio because so far entire base is cleared for everyone. Because so far the journey that we had started with the different topics, we use different knowledge sources, we use different tools. Specifically, we talked about the connector action, we talked about the Power Automate, we talked about the agent flow, as well as we deal with the custom connector as well, right? So most of the things we covered up at least till intermediate level for Copilot Studio. Now, coming from today's class onwards, we will go with some advanced topics. So specifically in today's class, we are going to start our journey first of all with the multilingual agent. So far, the entire agent that we built, it is with the one language only. So we used only English as a language. But many times in the real world as well, there are scenarios where we need to use the multiple language into the Copilot Studio. So how we can create an agent which supports the multiple language. So we'll talk about that concept in detail in today's class. Apart from that, there is one more concept in the Copilot Studio called variable. So far, we have used variable at the many places, but at the time we didn't because intentionally I didn't cover up that point. Usually, whenever we learn any particular language or any particular tool, variable is something we are always trying to cover up in the first position. But what happened here is this topic is little bit simpler in the world of Copilot Studio. Already we used variables in all the Copilot agents so far that we have built upon, right? Only at that time you were not aware about the terminology. Now today I'm going to talk about that terminology in little bit detail so you can just relate and finish that dot as well, that what are the different type of variables available in the Copilot Studio. Then we'll talk about one of the another important topic called component collection. So what is component collection? When we started our journey with the overall Copilot Studio, at the time we look at the overall studio tool, and at the time we also talked about there is one feature, component collection. So it is like a reusable component. This feature is again still in the preview at this point. It is not like providing great features at this point, but again, like there are many certain situations where you are building multiple agent, and certain agent can utilize the same part of the portion, like same knowledge source or maybe same kind of topic. So does it mean that I need to copy paste and maybe recreate those things again and again into each agent that I'm building? No, there should be some easiest way to do that, which is component collection. So we'll talk about that concept as well in detail, and then we'll talk about some of the security and distribution of the Copilot agent. Specifically, once you are done with your development of the Copilot agent, after that, you need to share it with someone else. Or maybe, let's say, for an example, there are multiple developers in your organization. They want to work together on the Copilot agent as a part of the development perspective. So, how you can handle those scenario in terms of security and distribution? Specifically, like what role you need to assign them, what kind of how you can share your agent with them, how they can edit that out. Okay, we'll talk about all those concepts in detail into today's class. Okay, so let's get start overall journey over here. Okay, so this is one thing, and probably from Monday's class, next week. Remember one thing, next week we have only one class on Monday. Probably after that, Wednesday and Friday's class, we will shift to the next week, basically, which I will make as an announcement, probably on the WhatsApp by end of today. But this is what we are planning. So next week we will start with another set of advanced topic over here, and after that another 3 to 4 class are pending where we will finish this overall advanced journey as well. So everything will be covered with respect to Copilot Studio. Okay, so without further delay, let's first try to understand the topic called variable in the world of Copilot Studio. Again, variable so far we covered up in all the I mean, whenever we create any topic and whenever we were taking any input, every time it was creating a variable and save it into the variable. But now as we are going to the advanced topic and there is a need that we need to pass the variable from one topic to another topic and all, how we can do that, let's explore that out. So first of all, let me just right away go with my Copilot Studio over here, and let me create one fresh agent over here. So I'm in my Copilot Studio batch 23, and let me create one agent over here. I'm just clicking on skip to configure and create a board called variable demo, because specifically I want to cover up that topic first. So I'm just creating one new agent over here to demonstrate specifically the variable functionality. Okay, so first of all, let me talk about what are the variables. So in simple word, variables means its value is changeable. Okay, now what type of variables are available in the world of Copilot Studio? Specifically in the world of Copilot Studio, variables are available at the topic level. Okay, so you cannot like create variable anywhere in the world of Copilot Studio. It is a topic specific subject. Okay, so let me go to the topic section over here, and topic can be anything, whether you have created any system topic or whether you have created any custom topic. In any topic, you can configure your variable. Okay, so now let me just do one quick thing over here. So first of all, what I'm here doing here is I'm just adding one topic over here. So click on add topic and I'm just creating from blank. Okay, and right now I'm just making this topic as topic 1. Okay, and I'm just renaming this as well my topic number 1. Okay, now to explain you the variable, let me just explain you a couple of terminologies over here first. So here I am, and you can see that this is my trigger point. Okay, now whenever you click on add node over here in the world of Copilot Studio, overall here you can able to see a section called variable management. Okay, now this variable management is something which is responsible for the variable. Okay, and over here there is an option set a variable value. Okay, now either you can access it from here, or let's say for an example, if you want to look out like how many variables you are having at this point in your Copilot agent, there is a shortcut way as well that in each topic on the top corner over here, you will be able to see the variable. And when you click on the variable over here, you will be able to see three type of variable over here, like topic variable, global variable, and environment variable. Okay, now let's go and talk about this thing in detail, that what do we mean by each type of variable over here, and what are the different data type of variable you can create inside the world of Copilot Studio. So what I'm doing here is right now I'm just writing one simple message over here that I am in topic 1. Okay, so I'm just creating simple message I am in topic 1. Now what I'm doing here is I'm just clicking on add a node and go to the variable management, and over here I'm just clicking on set a variable value. Okay, whenever you, sorry, let me just delete this thing. Go here, variable management, and set a variable value. Okay, now overall whenever you are clicking on this particular way, okay, overall first of all it is first asking you to create a variable. So when you click on that, overall there is an option to create a variable. Click on that. When you click on that, by default it will create this type of name like var1. You can click on that and you can rename that as well if you want. So I'm just mentioning the name as variable name. Okay, now overall when you look at this variable, at this point you can see this two option over here. Okay, whether you want to make it like a topic specific or you want to make it global. So from here it is deciding the type of the variable, whether that variable can accessible only to this topic, which means topic 1, or it can be accessible at the global level. So let's say if you are selecting the second option global, which means that in future, let's say if your agent is moving to the second topic, or maybe any topic is called, and when you want to utilize that thing, at the time you can utilize this global variable. Okay, simple global can be accessible throughout all the topics once it's initialized, and local or topic specific variable, which means that it can be only accessible for that only topic. Okay, now overall right now I just make it like a topic specific, so I can see that variable name is this one, and let me set up the value at this point. So overall I'm just providing the value as Dhruvin at this point. Okay, now what happened here is if you look at this observation, that Copilot Studio's variables are intelligent variables, which means that it is deciding its data type automatically. It's not something you can set it up manually by your own. depending on what value you are supplying to your variable, it is defining its data type. So you can see that it is string, so it understands that this is my string variable. And now when you click on that, overall you will be able to see that this is the string variable which is derived from here. Okay, now let's say for an example, if I'm taking one more variable over here, variable management, set a variable value, and I'm creating one more variable for myself. So when you click on that, it just open up this kind of interface. Click on create a new variable, and you can just provide any name to your variable. So I'm just providing variable age. Okay, and now overall as well, just observe this. Currently, the data type is unknown for that variable until you did not set up its value. But as soon as you start setting up its value, call, let's say for an example, I'm just setting up my age. Like let's say I'm setting up the value 25. It just make that okay, the age is 25. Okay, it can work with so many different data type variable as well. So let's see if I'm creating one more variable over here called, let's say for an example, click on this and click on create a new variable. And now let me just provide like today's date or maybe date time or something like that. Okay, like variable date time. Okay, and now if I'm going to the value section, okay, so I'm just going to the value, and overall when I'm clicking on the value, you can configure formula as well. So let's say here I'm configuring the formula like date 2025 0801. Let's say I'm setting up like this. Okay, and now when I click on insert, you can see that variable has take up the data type as date. So whichever way you supply your value, depending on that variable's data type is set. So it's not like any type, same like Power Apps, right? In Power Apps as well, we are not, whenever you create any variable, we are not defining the type of the variable, because whatever value you are supplying to it, depending on that, it is deciding its type automatically. Same concept is here. Okay, so simply variables are, to create the variable, simply go to the variable management, and from there you can just click on set a variable value, and from here when you click on that, you will be able to do that. Okay, now let me talk about couple of things over here. Whenever you are creating any kind of variable, okay, whatever variables that you created so far, variable name, variable age, and variable date time, what it is called in the technical world, this is called as a topic specific variable. Okay, they are called a topic specific variable, which means that their scope is limited only to this topic only. Okay, you cannot access this value outside of this topic. Simple. Okay, so these are called as a topic variable. Okay, apart from that, let me tell you, there are some other type global variables also available, as I talked, right? And one more type of variable is also there, which is called as a system variable. Okay, now what happen here is like, this is our Copilot agent, right? Now we know that in Power Apps as well, we are having different kind of values. So what happen here is when you click on the system, okay, these are the system type of variable. So whenever any bot is triggering or whenever the agent is calling, right, have you ever imagined how does it know that what is the name of the agent, what is your current username, what is your email address, right? How does it get all the information? So they are storing this information in terms of this system variable. System variables are non-configurable. You can just consume it wherever you want, or maybe if you want to change its value, you can change it out if required. So next use case is more around that. So specifically when we do the language translation, right? So English to Hindi or English to French or English to German, if we are doing any kind of translation, somehow this particular agent is storing some sort of language in one of the a system variable called language. Okay, so this is like a system language, so you can change that value as well if you want. So system variables are created by the Copilot Studio itself when you are setting up your agent for the first time. So if you observe this system agent, there are different type of stuffs available. So if you look at this out, it is having attachment. Attachment is something we already use in our that resume analyzer agent. At the time we were having that attachment one, channel data. So again, like when it is configured into the Teams, it will provide this information. Okay, so both variables are also there, that okay, if what is the tenant ID or what is the conversation ID, behind the scene it uses this kind of variable somehow, somewhere here and there. Okay, and environment variable, as I said, like at environment level, if you are making any variable and if you want to consume that into your Copilot Studio, it provides you that functionality as well. And all the custom variables that you are creating right now, whether it's a topic variable or whether it's a global variable. Okay, so these are the different type of variables. Now, so far, this is what we all created with the local variable. Okay, now let me create one global variable. So I'm just clicking on one more variable, and let's say I need this value into multiple uh, places. Okay, so let's say I'm just making over here that variable, sorry, not variable. I'm just making like GBL users products. Okay, and now I'm just making this global. Okay, so just selecting over here global, which means that I can utilize that into any particular topic. All right, and now what can I do here is I can just apply any kind of value called, let's say, MacBook. Okay, so I'm just supplying this value over here. Now, if we look at the overall summary of our variable, right now you can see that we created three variables right now, which are topic specific, age, date, time, and name. And we created one global variable called products. And at this point, these are all the environment variable which are available to use, but we haven't utilized it anywhere else. Okay, so these are the different stuff available at this point. All right, now let me just save up to this point, and now let me just help you to taste this out and understand this concept out. Okay, so what I'm doing right now, I'm just using send a message card, and let's print all the variable. So I'm in the topic one, and now let me print the variables here. So I'm printing my first variable age. I'm printing my second variable value called date time, and I'm printing my third variable called name. And with that, I'm also printing the global one over here, which is my product. Okay, and now I'm just saving this up. Okay, so this is what I built here so far. Now let me do one thing to prove couple of point. I'm creating another topic over here. So let's create another topic, like blank topic, and I'm just making the name as topic 2. Okay, and I'm just making here as well that this is my topic number 2. Okay, now let's click on add a node, and let's click on send a message. Now let's see here what variables I'm able to access it out. So when you go to the variable section over here, you can see right now I'm able to access only the product variable that I have created, because the other variables that I have created over there, like age variable, name variable, right? I'm not able to access here because right now I'm in the topic 2. When I go to topic number 1, at that time I can access those variables because those are topic specific variable, whereas global variables are accessible everywhere. So this is my global variable, so I can able to access that. So when I print that, I am able to access this variable over here. Even when I'm saving this over here, you can see that right now this is my variables, and you can see right now in this topic I have only one global variable at this point. I do not have any other thing at this point. All right, simple. Now let's taste this overall thing for ourselves. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to the topic number 1 over here, and let me just start tasting for this particular agent. So what I'm writing here is I'm just triggering my topic number 1 first. So whenever I'm writing topic number 1, what message it start printing, let's see. So it is saying that I am in topic 1, and it printed all the variables. Topic 1, then 25 is the age, then this is the date time, and this is the name, and this is the product name, MacBook. Okay, looks good to me. Now at the same time, let me write another trigger point, topic 2, and let's see what will happen. So when we call topic number 2, it calls that topic, and you can see that it just printing that MacBook product because that was the global variable and I can still able to access that. Okay. Now let me show you some another flavors around that. So let me just write one message over here that I am in topic 2. Let's click on save. Okay. Now the topic variables are providing one amazing functionality as well called as in and output parameter. Okay. Now what do we mean by in and output parameter? Let's see. So let's say right now I'm in my topic 1 and these are the three variables we are having at this point. So if I go to the variable section, if I expand the topic, I can see age, date time and name. Okay, I can see these three parameters at this point. Okay, now overall, if you have observed this particular section over here, this is called as the in and out parameter. Okay, now what do we mean by in parameter and what do we mean by out parameter? Okay, so first let's talk about these two things over here. So first thing is that if you look this thing out, okay, so this is first one is a in parameter. So it receives the value from another topic and second one is out parameter. When you hover over it, it's just showing that it returns value to the original topic. Now, what do we mean by this thing, right? It's little bit confusing or maybe we are not able to somehow able to relate this thing out. Okay. And these two options are only be available at the variable topic variable only. It's not available like a global because global is accessible everywhere. So there is no such in and out for that. Okay. But what do we mean by this? Let me explain you now this. Sometimes we have a scenario where we are in one topic and sometimes we need to supply the value from that topic to the specific topic. Okay. At the time, how we can supply instead of creating the variable again and again, how can we supply the value in a fashion that it can accept as an input over here? At the time, this input variable concept is come up into picture. If you are aware about the Power Automate terminology, right? In Power Automate, when you initialize any manual trigger flow, right? Generally, you provide the input to your flow, right? So this is in parameter. Consider that like a flow terminology, input, which means that you are taking an input, okay? And output means you are supplying the output to somewhere else. Okay, now let's to prove this point, I just need to do something over here. So first of all, let me do one thing. Let me make my age parameter over here as in parameter as enabled. So you just need to tick that box over here. Okay, and let's first focus only on this parameter. Okay, and let's click on save. Okay, so I supplied variable age as my input parameter. Okay, now let me do one quick thing over here. Let me go to the topic number 2 at this point because this is how you will be able to test this out because that was the input parameter for topic 1. Okay, now what happened here is, let's say when you click on the next step over here and if you go to the topics management and let's say this is my topic 2 and I want to call my topic 1 from topic 2. So there is a functionality available called topic management and overall here you can go to the specific topic. So go to the another topic and there is an option. It will list all your topics over here. So let's say here I'm selecting from topic 2 to I want to go to topic 1. Okay. So when you select this kind of option, okay, it is offering you over here to supply the input parameter over there because topic 1 is accepting one input parameter whenever you are calling it. Okay. So overall, if you look at this, redirect, right? From topic 2, I'm going to topic 1. At the time, let's say I want to supply that parameter value that we have defined. There is an option over here, add input, and you can see we provided that age variable as enabled as in parameter, which means that at least you can supply that age variable from some other topic as well. So let's say I'm supplying this now. And now overall here I can supply it anywhere. So let's say I'm supplying over here age 60. Okay. At the time what happened here is when you are calling topic 2 and at the end when it is going to your topic number 1, at the time it will pass the value 60 from topic number 2 to topic number 1. So what is in parameter in Copilot Studio? In parameter is whenever sometimes there is a need where you want to supply one topic value from the another topic, at the time you can utilize the make that variable as in parameter enable. So when you enable that, at the time you can supply that value over here. Okay, so right now we are here, we supply it out. Let's save this now. Okay, and now to prove this point I need to do some more thing here. So now we supplied the value as 60 here. Okay, now let me go to topic number 1 and let me see if I'm able to retrieve it properly or not. Okay, so what I'm doing here is, because here I started initializing my variable, right? So what I'm doing here is I'm adding one more message over here, and I'm just printing that variable somehow over here. So because when it redirect, right, it should first print me that message. Hello, this is something I am getting from previous topic, and maybe I can just print out that age variable over here. Okay, and let's see what we are getting over there. Okay, so I'm just printing here and let's see what will happen. Okay, so let's say for an example I'm in topic 2 right now, and let me just reset this whole conversation and let me just call my topic 2. Topic 2. As soon as you call the topic 2, it will call your topic number 2, and you can see that first of all it is showing me I am in topic 2. It executed so fast, guys. Okay, at the time, we set up the value 60, so it set up the age variable as 60. Then it going to topic number 1 because we added the redirect action. And at the time before that initialization happened, it just print the message because 60 is something we set up here, and immediately it receives the 60 as a value over here. And what happened is after that it set the variable again, and then the age variable is set to 25. But at least when it supplied from one topic to another topic, it just supply that value properly over there. Okay, so that's how the in parameter concept is working in the world of Copilot Studio. In means taking an input from some another topic. Okay, now out is exactly opposite of what we are having in a in parameter. Out means if you want, whenever you are triggering in this particular fashion, that redirect to this one. Okay, at the time from that topic, if there are some output that you want to retrieve to the original topic, you can retrieve it. Okay, let's demonstrate that as well. Okay, so now what I'm doing here is I'm again going to my topic 1, going to my variables, and this time let me make this name variable as out variable, which means that I want to set as a out. Click on save now. Okay, now let's see what will happen. Okay, so what I'm doing at this point here is, let me just create one more topic over here from blank, and I'm just creating one more called topic 3. I'm just adding one message. I am in topic 3. Okay, now let's say for an example here, what I'm doing is going here into topic management, click on go to another topic, and let me select topic number 1, because there we have that output parameter setup. And now you can see that when you call this topic 1, it is saying that, okay, when you call this topic as an output, you will get this value. Okay, variable name by default, it is just showing to you. Okay, now what happen is from this point, it will redirect to topic 1. From topic 1, it execute all the variables, and then it return the name variable over here, because we set up, although it's a topic variable, but we still mark as the output variable, out variable, which means that you will retrieve that value over here. Now let me just print that message over here. So I'm just clicking on send a message, and I'm just saying that, hey, I am in topic 3, but I get this value from topic 1, and simply you can print that variable over here, that name. Okay, so I'm just printing that out. Perfect. Let's click on save. Okay, and now you can do one thing as well, that if you look at this topic 1 over here, right? Let me just go here. This is my topic number 1, right? This is what we are doing here. Okay, there is no redirection. Perfect, looks fine and looks good to me. Okay, now let's test this functionality. Okay, so first of all, I'm calling my topic number 3. Okay, so I'm just calling topic 3. As soon as you call the topic 3, it will navigate yourself to topic 1. See, first it is saying that, hey, I am in topic 3, then redirection happen. It shows I am in topic 1. This is something I'm getting from the previous one because there is no input, so nothing is there. Then it set up this value, and then it again go back to the topic 3 and telling me that this is the value I'm getting from topic 1 as a through it, because that value we have set up over there. Okay, so this is how simply the in and out parameter works in the world of Copilot Studio. So just consider, if you are someone who is from the, let's say for an example, Power Apps background, maybe, or Power Automate background, this is how you can relate this out. Okay, so generally in Power Automate, we are having like a input parameter, right? Exact same way, this is what it will work as a in parameter. Okay, and we are having like a output parameter. And even if I showcase you in a better fashion, so whenever you go to your any agent flow over here, right, and clicking on new agent flow, this is like a simple Power Automate thing. Okay, and when you go to your manual trigger flow, like many times we are creating this type of flow, right? And overall here we are setting up the input like text input like this, right? So this is similar like those input in parameter. Okay, and when you are saying here that, okay, send back to Power Apps, right? So when you are returning those things, respond to Power Apps or something, right, you are setting up the output, that what output you get from the result, right? So this is like your output. So exact same concept is there into Copilot Studio as well. If you compare to this to Power Apps, Power Apps has the navigate function, right? So in navigate function, let's say although you have a local variable, but when you supply the variable to the another page, right, you can still able to access to that another page, right? So at the time it's not treated as a global variable, but it's still a local variable, but just you are passing your context from one page to another page. So same way in the Copilot Studio, your context is your topic. Okay, so global, there are, to summarize this whole stuff of the variable, so we are having like a topic variable, global variable, and environment variable. And again, system variables are by default created variable, custom variables are one that you have created. And again, like special variable category, this is what also we talked about. Like, when you are when you look at the system variables, so in the system variable you can see the different activity variables, sport related variable, conversational variable, or user variable. Those all are the special categorization of the variable which are available. Okay, and it supports the different data type like boolean, number, float, string, date, time, again everything. Okay, so this is what it offers you, like, as a part of functionality in the Copilot Studio. So this is like one topic which I just wanted to cover up before we go with the next set of functionality or next set of features, because it's important. So far in all our previous example, like I'm talking about, like from the day one itself we were using the variable, but we didn't go to the nth level of detailing so far because we didn't have that need. But now when we reach to the point where, in future classes we are going to call the multi-agent, at the time we need to really pass the context from one place to another place. So at the time this concept is really needed for the understanding purpose. Okay, so again, like from the day one itself we used it. Today we just go to the one more level of nth level of detailing over here. Okay, so this is all about the variables. I would like to pause over here for a moment. If anyone has any question on any of this type of variable, like local variable, I mean topic level variable, system variable, or any other stuff around variable, I'm happy to answer it out. So I would like to pause here for a moment. Anyone has any questions? I can see first straight in from Shweta, you have a question.
Yes, Rovin. So whenever we create any global variable, we have two options like external from. Can you open that window
Just a minute.
in the variable section?
Yes, these are two
Yeah,
type
in the
of,
global like.
yeah. Yeah, so look,
So
this
yeah.
is, yeah, you want to understand this, right? What do you mean by this?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. So it is like when it is tick box, right? So generally, honestly, there are no use cases around that, first of all, but they provided as a functionality. What they recently, I mean, they introduced it when they have enabled the functionality of multi-agent capability. So allowed to carry between the sessions. Now, what happened here is like specifically this scenario will come up into picture when uh, you are dealing with a multiple session. So let's say this is your one agent, right? And let's say in the future you are having another agent and you are passing uh, your some of the value from this agent to another agent. Okay, at the time your sessions are switching with each other. Okay, so you want to keep the value between the session. At the time you can enable this option, or let's say for an example right now you are here into this particular agent, and let's say for an example you turn this on, allowed to carry between the session. Now what happened here is like even though your session is going to be expired, or maybe even though you refresh your agent, okay, still it will store that value somehow. So no matter like if you have initialized first and then you restart it multiple times, so it just carry forward that value for you. So that's something you can just define over here as allowed to carry between the session. Okay, and second option is external sources can set the value. Now what do we mean by that particular thing? Okay, so and again when you just put up this option like external sources can set the value, it also enable you one property, that the conversation will pause for a variable value to be set, choose how long the pause will last, which means that sometimes there is a need where you want to update the external sources to change the value for your global variable. It's by maybe custom connector. Let's say you are retrieving some dollar value using your custom connector, and let's say you want that to be stored as a global variable somehow in between your topic or somewhere wherever you are calling that out, right? So when you enable this option, it is providing you that functionality that if your external sources, whether it's any connector or whether it's any tool or whether it's from any knowledge source, you want to update any particular value, you can utilize this particular option. So these are two configuration that they have provided. Practically, if I'm talking about, still I can see very small use cases around this particular piece of part, but for this one practically so far I haven't seen any such great use cases around that. So options are there, but in which scenario we need to use it out, it's still about to identify, because I haven't seen much value into. Maybe of course value would be there, but probably I didn't come up with that level of scenario where I need to somehow update this thing out or maybe utilize this thing out. But yeah, that is what it is, what I know about this two particular feature set. Hope that is giving you the answer.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, hi Dhruvi.
Yes, please.
The same options available in topic level also, I think.
Yes, it's the same options, but a little bit different. Receive the value from the another topic. It's nothing new. It's the different name for the in and output parameter. So when either you can utilize this UI to make it in and out, or let's say for an example, this is my age, right? So when you go to your age variable over here, when you look at this variable, At the time you can see it by default tick this option because we just make it tick. So in topic level, whatever you can see here, it's like a in and output. So it's a full form of that. This is in and this is out. So return value to the original and receive value from the topic. So it's just like a same this kind of stuff. So exact same options are available over there. Okay,
Okay. Thank you.
perfect. Anyone else has any other question related variable? Or maybe just give me the reactions at least you understand so far, like different variables and different scope as well as what are the system variable available or topic levels available. Okay, perfect. All right. So now from here, we'll go one more level up and we will create our first multilingual agent, multilingual chatbot, which will support multiple languages. But multilingual is a little bit challenging in the Copilot Studio because when you are making any multilingual agent, you need to do certain activities. Like it's not straightforward configuration that, okay, it understand automatically and change your entire language set and everything, right? Because we need to consider so many different aspects around that. So let's talk about that particular use case over here and let's understand how the multilingual capability is working in the Copilot agent, because I have seen many use cases and practically like uh, we recently built one of the agent for one of our customer which is having multilingual capability. Like not everything we will be able to do it as a multilingual. There are some limitations as well, but at least customers are getting happy, or maybe I mean most of the things we are able to cover it up. But what level of customization you can do it over here? Let's have a quick demo around that. Okay, so first of all, let me just go with the case study that what we are going to do here. So again, for this particular thing we are going to use one of the travel example, because this kind of agent usually require this kind of capability. So this is one public facing website I have, like visitdubai.com, which is official website for Dubai tourism for tourism activity. Okay, and overall, if you look at, this is the public facing website and they are having so many different things over here that you can see that, okay, what are the places to visit, or what are the festivals which are happening over there. So many things which are already available on their public facing website. Now what I want is I want to provide some sort of agent. I mean, I want to use this as a knowledge source over here for my Copilot agent, and using that I want to build some sort of functionality for myself. Okay, just a minute. Let me just refresh my screen over here. At least let this site is to be loaded. Okay, so many things are over here, and it will just provide the all the detailing, what are the places, and how the historical entire stuff is there. Okay, so simply we can configure our entire agent based on this knowledge source, and then we can make it multilingual. So let's say if I don't know the English and maybe I just wanted to do in the Hindi, I want to type something, or maybe if you're having some other language to configure, how we can do that. Okay, first of all, for that, let's click on new agent, and now we will simply create it in a fast forward fashion, because now at least at this point of time we know how to create an agent and how to write a prompt, so we'll not go into detail. So simply I'm just writing, copy pasting one of my prompt over here to create this agent. Hey, I want to create TravelMate, a smart visual assistant that helps the tourist to plan their perfect vacation in Dubai. The assistant should respond in a friendly and engaging manner, making the travel planning experience smooth and enjoyable. Okay, let's hit enter and let the agent to do rest of the work. It will automatically create description and instruction for us. And here I am, it created the description, it created the instruction. I'm not too much worry about this at this point. Now what it is saying that great, TravelMate is now set up as a smart visual assistant. Next, confirm the name of your agent. I suggest TravelMate. Would you like to keep the same name or you want to use different one? So I'm just saying that same one. I don't want any other name at this point. So I just want to have like a TravelMate, my agent name. So it will just change the name as TravelMate over here, which looks perfect to me. And then it is just showing me that, okay, put any additional instruction. So I will just say to my agent that, okay, I want to use this as my knowledge source. So I'll just use like, I want to use this as knowledge source. Okay, and I'm just providing over here that visit dubai.com. And now let's say what happened here is it just added this as a knowledge source as well, visit dubai.com. I just want to confirm this thing out. And now let's click on create to build our agent. And this will create my agent. Let it to be create. It will take some seconds to in order to build the agent. Okay, it's been created, which looks perfectly fine. Now what I'm doing here is I'm just going to the edit and let's just provide some sort of description over here. Dubai tourism. This knowledge source searches the information for the different queries, different travel queries. Dubai visit. Yes, I'm just applying that. This is my site and let me click on save simply. Okay, here you can do it at any level of customization, like send an email if you want to do it out, anything. Okay, now I'm not going into too much complexity because I don't want to introduce so much objects over here because we already learn all of those things. Now, what's the idea behind the multilingual capability? Let me talk about that. Okay, but before that, let me just create one topic as well, because what I want here is when someone coming here as a chat person, okay, I want them to ask couple of questions that, okay, tell me your name, tell me your phone number, tell me your email, and which places you want to visit or how many days you want to visit, right? So I want to create a topic around that. So this time again, I'm going to use Copilot topic. So add description. And now I'm just like making like book a holiday topic. And then I'll just make a topic over here. So what I will do here is I'll simply write a prompt over here to just create my topic because I don't want to create entire topic by my own over here. Okay. So let me just paste one simple prompt. Let someone book their travel vacation for the Dubai. Let them enter their name, email, phone, and places they wish to visit, along with how many nights of holiday they are planning. Upon successful submission, create travel request in the system. Okay, this is what not required. We are not creating any request. Okay, let's create this out. So at least it will automatically create all the question and variables and everything for us automatically. So let it to be do. And here we are ready. Okay, so it just asked me like this, and see, this is what we did multiple time, right? It's save in the variable, but so far we haven't focused, but now we know that these all are my variables. So whenever you look at this thing out, you can see that these are all your variables which are created, right? So what's your name, what's your email address, what's your phone number, which places you like to visit, how many nights you want to visit, right? And this is like a summary. Okay, this is what it is at this point. Let's click on save at this point over here. Okay, and now let me just do one thing over here. Okay, so let's say I'm just writing over here like book a holiday for me. Holiday for me. Okay, then it will start asking me the question. What's your name? So I'll say Dhruvin. I'll say 16 at gmail.com. What's your phone number? So I'm just adding my phone number. Which place in Dubai you like to visit? I would say like I want to visit Burj Khalifa. I want to visit Yas Island, and maybe I just want to visit Abu Dhabi. I'll just enter this, and then it's asked me how many nights you want are planning. So let's I say 5 nights. Okay, so once you do that, this is what it is giving you the summary for you. Okay, now I want to extend this result out of this, because now what I want is, I want, because this basic information of course it will ask, right? Now I'm going to show you one amazing feature here itself, that now sometimes what happens is you already have the public facing website, right? So generally when people are just asking in a very natural language with starting with the word, and maybe when it uses it only as a search article, probably you can utilize, because you already have the knowledge source and already you have generative AI enabled, so it will automatically able to answer it out for you. Okay, but let's say for an example, now you have this kind of situation where you are already in the topic, and now you want to convert it into next level, that okay, if they are submitting me this information, after that immediately somehow as a board I want to prepare a itinerary for them. Okay, so what you can do is, whatever parameters that they have entered over here, somehow you want to supply it out to your website and make a query and give the result over here. If you want that, how you can do that? So let me tell you, there is one amazing action available at the topic level called, when you click on add node, there is an option available over here. Let me just go here to add a tool option, sorry, advanced option. And when you go to the advanced option, there is a functionality available called generative answer. Okay, utilize that. So when you use generative answer, it will first ask you that what knowledge source you want to make your query against. Okay, so you can simply clicking on edit here, and you can make sure that okay, you want to use agents general knowledge. No, I don't want to utilize agents general knowledge. I want to utilize only this website for my query. So I'll select this website over here. Okay, and now what you can do here is, okay, you configured it, and now what I want as the next step here is, I want to provide some sort of input as well, that what the person need to search here, because how does my knowledge source know that what query I need to supply, because I'm in the topic. If I'm somewhere else, I'm not in the topic, probably to understand the context, right? So here you can do this option, you can write this kind of formula and make your own search query. Okay, so I can simply write one prompt over here. And what prompt I am going to write here, let me just showcase you that thing over here first. So I will write here that based on whatever you provide here, based on 5 days and the places I want to visit, please help me to create travel plan for me. Okay, I can simply write this kind of query. Now, only thing is that this number of nights are configurable. Okay, 5 nights, okay, not days, 5 nights, right? So I can make it configurable here. Okay, this value and what places I want to, based on 5 nights and the places I want to visit, please help me to create the travel plan for me. I'm just making this kind of custom prompt over here. Okay, in formula. Now here I can make it configurable as well. So let's say I just want to make it configurable. So I will use double quote again and use end person over here. And when you use end person, it will provide you the functionality to utilize your topic variable. So you use topic dot. It will show you all the variables that you have created as a part of your questionnaires. Okay. So again, I'm just going here. I just lost it. You just need to remember your variable name. Let me just again type that thing out for us. Okay, I'm not typing it again. I'm just making it over here. So what you can do here is, based on, you can just provide like topic dot what variable night, based on number of nights and places I want to visit. What places I want to visit? How can I get to know that information? So I can use variable topic dot places to visit. Please help me to make a plan for me. Click on insert. and this is what it will act as a query over here. So we are making this query to our data source, and basically this will print the overall what say uh, overall itinerary for us to visit for Dubai. Okay, now let's save this and let's first taste up to this point. Okay, so this time we are not just using the only the generative AI in the knowledge source, but this time we have configured within the topic itself. So from topic, if you want to make specific query as a prompt to your knowledge source, how you can do that. Okay, now let's taste this again. So what I'm doing here is book a travel plan. Again, let me just quickly enter it out fast. Email address. Let me copy this, paste it. Phone number, just applying anything. And then places. I want to visit this 3 places. Okay. So I will like write this. Sorry, I didn't copy it properly. Okay. And let's enter it out and let's see what it will come up as a result for me. Okay. How many nights you are planning to book the holiday? Let's say I'm saying 5 nights. Okay. And it just make a query and then it just go to the generative answer and see this is what it exactly created for me. Okay. 5 nights. So obviously 5 night plan means 5 nights, 6 days. This is usually the travel itinerary looks like. So day one, this is what you can do. Day two, day three, day four, day five, and day six, you can just leave it. It also give you the tips and tricks, always things, and it provide you the iteration as well. That okay, from where it pulling the information. So this is what it is a page at Dubai, visit Dubai, and this is what it provide me the information. Okay, so I'm pretty much happy with the result it is generating right now. Okay, now the thing is that our challenge is not like result. Okay, it is fine because it's working as expected the way I wanted, right? And now even let's say if you don't want to trigger anything, and let's say if you just tell me that okay, give me the details for the history of Dubai. Okay, let's see what it make as a query over here and give it to you. Because now you added this question. So probably here at this point, the generative AI orchestration is enabled. So probably it should find out the answer for me from the general knowledge. And see, it perfectly gave it to me. This time it didn't call the topic. It just uses the knowledge source in order to give the answer for me. Okay, so this is what it is happening right now. All right, perfect. I'm pretty much happy with the result and pretty much happy with the agent. Okay. Now, the goal here is not to get an answer and test this out into this fashion, but multi-language capability. Okay, so let's explore out that functionality now. For that, first of all, go to the setting option over here. There is a language pack available over here. Okay, and right now you can see that English is the by default language for your agent. Let's say if you want to configure other languages, click on add language over here. And right now, overall here, you can see that 23 plus languages are supported. You can click on learn more to see the more detailing around that, how many languages are supported versus not. This is the whole list. So currently, as this moment, like in July 2025, approximately these are 23 to 25 languages are there. This many of languages are supported at this point. If you are having any other language apart from that, it will not support at this point. Okay, so only this many of languages are supported. Okay, now remember one thing. Overall, here as well, what it is saying is the conversational agent creation experience is in the maker's browser language. If your browser language is not in the following list, uh, you will be able to face certain set of problems that it is saying. And what it is saying also is generative answers are also used for the autonomous agent response, and overall currently, generative answers means AI based answer, right? When you're typing anything, it just find out the stuff and give it to you. So generative answers are also supported. So generative answers are supported in how many languages? It provided you this information as well. And generative orchestration uh, also support this thing. That is what it is saying to you. Okay. And again, like in if you are using some voice enabled chat, it will also support that thing. Okay. So these are the language, like this is just a documentation. Okay. But now let's actually experience this. Okay. So what I'm doing here is right now to taste this, because I know from this language that only Hindi as a language. Apart from that, I don't know any other foreign language. So what I'm doing here is I'm selecting Hindi as a language. So at least in front of you guys, maybe you know or you don't know, that it's a different story, but at least I can give you the and maybe at least able to verify the result. So I'm selecting Hindi as my language over here. Okay, for the translation that I want to have this agent into multiple language. So I'm just having Hindi as a language over here. So, and I just had it. Okay. Now, what else you need to do it afterwards? Okay. So once you are done with this particular part, it is providing you two stuff over here. Localization. Okay. Now, what do we mean by localization in any kind of language processing? Okay. So generally, this is where what happen here is like generally agent can understand your language, but only thing is that okay, generative AI think it is understand, but what if the custom topic that you have created, right? Book a holiday. That's what you created, right? Now, when you say book a holiday, right? It is asking some question that what's your name, what's your phone number, what's your which places you are visiting, right? So that's something you have configured at your boot level, hard coded, which means via questions, right? Now, if you want that as well translated, you need to do some sort of localization activity, which means that you need to translate that words and supply it to your Copilot agent so it understands that what I'm talking about here. Okay. Now, what we can do here is in order to support that, when you click on the upload option over here, there is an option available that how you can update that. It's fairly simple, guys. It's not too much complicated. Obviously step is there, but it's very simple. First, download this JSON file. So click on download and it will download one localization file in your computer. Okay, now let me just open up that file into Notepad. So this is how that is looking like, your localization file. Okay, and it is just showing you the different option, like all the questions that you are having in the agent and all. So it just downloaded that file for you, that okay, you want to convert it out, so maybe just provide your translated language over here to me so I can understand it out. Okay, I'm just thinking because the way generative AI is adapting the market, I'm thinking in future, specifically this process will no longer required. In January, when I had this Copilot agent batch, at that time, this language feature was so dull, so it was not even able to answer into generative AI. So now at least they have enabled this feature. So future, maybe I don't think so this is required. But at this point, Microsoft still saying that okay, if you are having any custom topic, you need to still manually translate it out. Okay. So let's say you can see here, here I have a couple of things like, okay, how many nights you are planning, what's your email address, what's your name, what's your phone number, right? This one topic question you are having. Okay. Now, what you need to do as a localization, you need to translate into that language. And for that, we'll simply use this trick. What I'll do here is I'll simply copy this over here, each question. Okay. I'm just copying this question and I'm just going here and I say, Google English to Hindi translate. And this is what it is opening for me. I'm pasting my question and this is what it is giving me the translation. How many nights you are planning for a holiday? So it's saying me the language as आप अपनी छुट्टियों को कितनी रातों की योजना बना रहे हैं. Okay. Maybe if you're happy, you can keep it. Otherwise, you can write your own one as well. That's fine. I'm just copying this thing right now. And what I'll do here is I just replace this question with this Hindi wording. Okay. So it knows that, okay, this is what it mean by. Okay. Then I have another question. Which places in the Dubai you want to visit? Okay. I'm copy this thing. I'm just pasting it over here and I'll just have this wording which is like दुबई में आप कौन सी जगह देखना चाहोगे? This is the Hindi keyword. People who don't know Hindi, please forgive me at least for this particular session of point. I know most of us know, but in case if you don't know, please bear with me. So I'm just translating into this one. Okay, now let's see, even if you don't want to go with this one by one approach, then maybe what you can do here is you can use simple chat GPT as well if you want. So what can I do here is, let me just open up my chat GPT and let me just copy paste this whole thing, and I'll just make a prompt over here. Hey, I want to translate the questions from the above text in Hindi. Give me the translation. Okay, let's see. You know, consider only question, not entire thing. Okay, it translated it for me. I just copy paste from here. So what's your email address? I just apply here. What's your phone number? I just convert into Hindi like this, and name. So I'll just make it like this. Okay. Apart from that, it offers all the system topics and everything. Okay. But I don't want to do that at this point. Maybe in actual project, if I need to require, of course, I need to change it. I mean, some trigger points you can change it, or I mean, talk to the agent, or maybe these are the things as well you can change it if required. Not everything you need to change it, whichever thing you think that which is again, it's a multilingual, right? So it supports multiple language at the same time, so at least people can understand some sort of basic English. But again, like complex language translation or something, you can make it happen. Okay, so same way you can follow it like this way. And again, this JSON is, let me just explain you the structure of this JSON. So what this JSON is actually doing for every topic. So you can see here, when you look at trigger, okay, trigger dot action, okay, which means that whatever questions are there, it will show you this. Okay, then this one you can see trigger queries. So book a holiday or plan a vacation or help me to book a trip. So this is like trigger phrases. So trigger phrases generally people don't tell. I don't think so they will tell in the language, in the specific language. But if you want, you can still change it, otherwise you can keep it as is. Apart from that, it show all the system topic as well, that okay, this is what it one is escalate topic. Okay, escalate topic has many questions or queries like, can I get in touch with someone else? So let's say if you want to change it, you can do it. Can I schedule a call? Can I speak it to a human, right? You can change it if you want, otherwise you can keep it as well. So it covers up all the system topics or all the custom topics that you have. It's fairly easy to understand. So let's say the last one is, you are welcome and all. So maybe if you just want to change that wording, you can change it out. But I just don't want to do this. Over here you can just keep it as is if you want. And again, here as well, you can see certain similar questions we are having over here, like trigger trigger question. Okay, and again, here as well, like how many nights you are planning and blah blah blah, all this stuff you are able to see over here. Okay, because on the top it show as a more generic dialogue, but over here as well it is just showing to you. So maybe you can change it over there as well at the both the places. So let me just change it out here as well. Okay, so this is like your specific question topic. So again, and again, it's an untitled one. So I think this is what we didn't save. Due to that, maybe it's just showing to us. Just give me a minute. I'm just going here. Let me check my topics. Do I have any untitled or something? O.json. And let's see if I'm going to the topic. No, I don't have anything untitled. Not sure what it come up with. Maybe we can change it right now. Okay. Rather than making it complicated. So I'm just changing this wording. What happening? Copy this. Just give me a minute. And simple thing, if you don't understand anything, simply do search here. Okay. And just think about what's your like phone number related question. So when you search it here, right, see where your question is, you can easily be able to find it. So wherever you find this content, just convert it out. Okay. So I'm again doing this thing. Let me just replace this wording here. Okay. And copy this. Copy this. Paste it. Okay, perfect. Looks good. Let's save this thing over here. I'm just saving this content. And now what we need to do is, once you are done with this, go to the setting, go to the language and upload it, the latest file. So click on browse and this is our latest file. Click on that and upload the translation updates, update localization. Will take some moments in order to update that. Okay, and you can see that localization updated successfully. All good. Perfect. Click on close. Now let's go to the agent. As soon as you upload your customization file, localization file, at the time over here, it will provide you two options now. Earlier, it was only showing as an English option for your agent, but now as soon as you enable it for multi-language, it is having two options to you, either English or Hindi. So when you use Hindi, it will just load the Hindi agent. Okay, and now you can see here couple of things like system related things automatically converted into Hindi. So you can see here below this word, it is Hindi. Okay, now let me ask some question over here to taste the result. Okay, so I'm just having like a book a holiday. Let's see if my reflections are working properly or not. Generally, when you upload it out, okay, it is just showing you the Hindi wording now, right? आपका नाम क्या है, right? It's now working in a Hindi now. Let's say I'm saying like Ruvin, आपका email पता क्या है, right? It's just asking me this. And let's say I'm saying just entering this. Now it's asking me my phone number. So again, it's fully converted into this stuff. And now it's asking me which places you want to visit. I'll simply saying is Abu Dhabi, there's Iceland, Gold Market, and Dubai Mall. Okay, just saying this. I'm saying now how many days. So I'm saying like, okay, I want 3 nights. Okay, it's just giving me the summary. Okay, and now it's just going here to make a generative AI query. And let's see what it come up with here. It make the query, even if you look at this, out, it just completed here at this point, and it didn't show any result from any particular query at this point. Okay, let's see why it's not working. Not showing any result, or it didn't even go to the particular action. Okay, now let me just use any general language. Okay, I want to visit Burj Khalifa. Let's see. I'm just using any now general knowledge source we are using. Let's see whether it is able to translate it out for me or not. It's just saying me starting from the beginning like this. I don't want to call a topic. I'm just saying that, hey, I want to know the information about Dubai's top 10 places. Let's see. And see, this is what it is doing. With generative knowledge, it's able to find out the answer for me, and it just look at that site, and it just give me this complete information for me. So it retrieve the information from here, and at the time, even if you look at the knowledge source, right? So it just look at out your knowledge source that we have sub configured over here. It's going to the Dubai tourism star and specifically converting this whole thing for me and just giving me the result for myself. Okay, so this is how it's translating properly. Okay, only thing is that when you make a query specifically, like when it was called from a trigger, at that time it was unable to find out the result because of that, maybe due to some limitations of the query, or somehow it's not able to answer it out from here. But when you ask any kind of general question like this, it's at least able to answer it out for you. Or maybe now let me just do this thing, book a holiday, and let's see. This is now, it's just work on this. I'm just entering email, phone number. Okay, now this time let me just try this thing. Let me type in Hindi over here. Let's try whether it is supporting this or not. Okay, so I just added this. Thanks for the summary. And then see, it started giving me the answer in completely with the generative AI action as well, right? Which looks good. And again, like completely Hindi translation, it has given me and give me the answer. Okay, let me try again one more time now, because now I want to try different thing. Book a holiday. And this time let's type everything into English. Okay, I'm just saying, I'm just entering phone number. And now this time I want to type in English here, and let's see if it is working. I just enter these two queries, 4 nights, and let's see. Yeah, it's working. So maybe first time when we were testing, it was not giving me the result, but now from the topic as well, it's giving me the perfect result and showing me the result like this. So this is how you can just convert into this type of multilingual agent. Now, similar way, if you want to add multiple language over here within the same agent, you can add that as well. Okay. So let's say same agent you want to use into Chinese, you can use that as well. Okay. But now the question arises that Dhruvin, this is what you did right now. Like you switch it manually, the language over here, right? But let's say I don't want to do in this fashion. What I want is, I want when user is starting the chat agent, I want that chatbot first ask them that, okay, choose your language first itself, rather than, because not everyone is aware about this kind of setting when we publish the agent to somewhere else, right? So when they start agent, when it showing the greeting message, with the greeting message itself, I want to ask them to choose a language. And based on that language, I want the entire uh, chat experience should work. Then how can I do that level of configuration in the Copilot Studio, right? Because this is the need of the business, right? And not everyone can go here and change the language for themselves, right? And they should have the capability to switch the language at any point of time as well. Okay. So this is what you can do. You can go to the topics over here, and there is by default topic greetings, which is executed always first time when someone is entering to the agent. Okay. Here, what you can do is simply add one question. So ask a question here. Okay. Please choose your language. Choose your language. And you can provide two options to it. English, and second is Hindi. So let me just type like this. I'm just providing this wording. Copy this and paste it. Okay. So I'm just providing two conditions here. Okay. Now, if my, and it will just store the this particular value in, create a new variable language. Let's let's provide a proper name to it. Let's apply that variable over here, like variable one. Just a minute. Let me just delete this because ideally it should automatically create the stuff for me. Somehow it didn't. Why? Let me see. How can I help you today? I don't want any of this node, guys. I'm just deleting this. Delete. Okay. I'm just saying, ask a question, select language, multiple choice option. First option is English. Second option, Hindi. Okay. I'm just providing like this. Select a variable, save user response in variable, which is unknown. Select a variable. Ideally, it should show that variable to me, but somehow it's not. Let me delete this node. We will add the condition later on. Let me save up to this point first. The save button is disabled for me. Just a minute. Switch to primary language. Yes, now it is showing me save button. It was giving me the warning, but I was not following that. Okay, and now this is the variable, right? Let's add a condition. If variable 1 is equal to English and add a condition if it is variable 1 equal to Hindi, then what I want to do is I want to change the language of the agent. For that, there is an option available. Go to here, variable, and set a variable name. And this time we will change the system variable. So system already have one variable called language. Okay, so user.language. So when someone select English, then let's make the language to the English completely. Okay, in other case, I want to make variable management set variable value. This is a system variable, and that value we are updating it out here. So what we are doing is go to the system variable, search for the language, which is the inbuilt variable of the chatbot agent. And this time from here, I will select the Hindi language. So I'll select Hindi, and that's how it looks like. Perfect. And it switched the stuff for me. Now let's click on save and let's see how it looks like now. Okay, so when you are starting now your agent for the very first time, let's see what it will do. Okay, so when you say like, okay, hi, okay, it is first asking you that select your language. Okay, and it's asking either English or Hindi. So let's say you say Hindi, so the language will be changed to the Hindi. Okay, the system variable is changing the overall language of your translation as Hindi. Now let's I'm saying that book a holiday. And see, this is how it is asking me over here like this. Okay, when I say change language, okay, now even if you want to make it more dynamic from this point, what you can do here is you can create another topic as well called change language. So when someone is saying that change language, it will prompt you the question again that book what language you want, Hindi or English. You can update the value again and change the both language on the fly as well if you want. Okay, but right now this will not work. Now it will convert it to Hindi, so it will always be like this. Now when I reset this thing out and when I start conversation again, probably it will ask me the question again to choose between the language. Okay, so when I and again like this is something that if you look at the different topics over here, right? So we started with a greeting topic. Okay, this greeting is the first one, which is calling when your agent is calling for the first time. Just a minute. Let me just go to the system topic, and this is like conversation start, right? So this is what it is calling as a first one over here, conversation start. And when it do the conversation start, maybe at the time you can customize this as well. What you can do is add go to the topic management, go to the topic, and you can call your greeting topic. So people don't need to even say hi to it. It automatically call that thing out for you. So what we can do is we are just redirecting here. Now just reset this thing out. As soon as your conversation is starting, see, it's by default asking you first thing like select your language. Like I'm saying like English, then it will follow the English and then I can just do it in a proper fashion over here. Okay. And now I'm just doing over here like give me Dubai's history. And then it will look at the knowledge source and give it to you the full result. Okay. So this is how your multi-language uh, translator agent will work. And again, as I said, this, I mean, at least the question level of customization, you need to do it. Otherwise, generative AI working in a proper fashion. Okay, but only thing is that I am thinking that in future, absolutely this will also going to be obsolete. But right now, that is the only option. And now, if you want to add another language as well here, you can add another language. So only thing is that uh, you must need to add the languages over here. It's not something that Copilot agent will understand it completely automatically. Okay, so for this multilingual capability, of course, like if you want now the Chinese language or any Dutch language or French language to be set up for your questions and all, you just select the appropriate language pack from here so that it can understand it in a proper fashion. Okay, now over here, I just wanted to talk about some of the limitation of this approach as well, that what kind of limitation you will face it over here, and how you can treat this thing out. Okay, so let me just talk about that thing over here. So the number one limitation is uh, this particular, like whichever secondary language that you are setting up over here, right? Uh, at this point, how many maximum languages you can support, I mean add over here as a secondary language? Maximum you can add 10 languages over here, not more than 10 languages. So one agent at this point supports 10 translations over here. Okay, not more than 10. So over here you cannot add like more and more language pack. Like if you think that okay, I am adding all 25 translation pack over here, no, that's not the case. Okay, so maximum 10 per agent you can add over here. Okay, second second limitation we are having with this specific approach is specifically, like as I said, like manual configuration is required. Okay, for topic question. So other things it can understand it properly, but topic thing, of course you just need to add your language back, and it is sometimes tedious process. Let me tell you why. Because now what happened here is, let's say for an example, you configure this language for the first time, right? Now let's say you created another topic in the future and you want to do it again, configuration. Then you need to go to again here, you need to download the current localization that you are having. It will download that file for you, it will open like this, then you need to again configure the other things, and then you need to re-upload the things. Okay, that's how this thing is working. So it's little bit tedious sometimes to do as a process, but this is the only option at this point which is available. Okay, but again, like I'm just thinking very positive here with this particular solution is like, I'm like, okay, if agent is able to do the generative AI translation on the fly, then why not the out of the box custom topics translation, right? Why we still need to go with the JSON path? I think they will solve this problem soon in the future, but this is the way to go right now. And this is how you can have the multilingual capability inside your agent application. Okay, now from here you can cover up any kind of use case. Now just imagine, sometimes you have a scenario that even you don't want to ask user to select a language. Okay, but what if, like, let's say if I start typing something in the keyboard directly into Hindi, then agent should understand it automatically. Then what you can do, you can do this kind of tweak as well, that you can simply go to tool, click on add a tool. Okay, and over here you can just write a prompt, custom prompt for yourself, because now we know how to write a custom prompt. And maybe I can use one of the inbuilt template over here called detect a language. So whichever user is typing, so let's say I'm going to the prompt template, and let's say detect language, this out of the box thing is available. Okay, and now over here what is happening here is, it will just give you the language, that what would be the language. So let's say if I'm typing something over here in this text, okay, like something like this, and taste it out, it will just say me that okay, it didn't understand this. This is strange. Let me add some, at least the context, something words. Let's taste it now. It say that okay, it's uh, ENUS. Okay, now let me just do like this, and let's taste this out. Let's taste it. Okay, and it's just saying me this HIIN, right? So what you can do is you can simply use this language translator. I mean detect language. I'm just showing you some different flavors over here. Huh? I'm also trying this for the very first time, but this is now just bring me this idea right now that this is also you can do it out if you want in a more dynamic fashion. So this is what you can do. Detect a language and now add and configure to this agent. Okay, and what you can do now is just go to your topic, and again it will be the dynamic in the nature, so I'm not worried about that thing. Let's go to the topic, and now if I'm going to this topic, my system topic called, or maybe if I'm going here as well in my custom topic called greeting. Okay, when I say okay, how can I help you today? Before that, I can just call that thing. So add a tool. Okay. And already we are having few things over there. So go to a tool, detect language. This is what we added, right? And over here, obviously, you can simply uh, provide your input that from where you can configure your input parameters. So detect a language, and this is what will take the context. And then after that, maybe you can just add a condition that if it is ENIN, then go this route, ENIN, then go this route. Okay, this is also you can do it out for yourself additionally. Okay, I'm not testing it right away, but this is another way of a language as well. So based on what language user is typing here, based on that also you can make a decision. All right, so this is all about the translation concept inside the Copilot agent. Now I would like to pause here for a moment. If anyone has any question on any kind of translation topics, I'm happy to answer and clear it out for you. Anyone has any question on the translation part? Okay, I do not see any more raise hand. I can see first raise hand from Sagar. Yeah, you have a question.
Yeah. Hi Dhruvin. Here we can creating we can store the data in anywhere. We can store the data.
Yeah, you can store the data anywhere where you want. If you now
Oh,
for that, you just need to use all this previous concept that you had, right? So if you write an action, save to Dataverse, or maybe create an entry
mm,
into SharePoint, and just provide the instruction over here to your agent that, okay, find the answer and whatever answer you find, just store into your database. It can be doable. So whatever we did in all the previous class, those all the things you can do it. On top of that, you can do this translation, or maybe if you want to send this itinerary to email directly, you can configure email action. It will send out into email to the user who has asked for this query. Any type of configuration, you can do it over here.
yeah. Okay, Dhruvin. Thank you.
Perfect. Next, I can see reason from Raj.
Hey, Dravin. How
Yes.
difficult is to set up a payment gateways to these bots?
I didn't see any use cases so far in my career for payment gateway integration with the agent, or nowadays people are doing, but not like I haven't seen any practical example around that how safe it is, or maybe uh, I see like capabilities are available. MCP, that is my next to next class topic specifically, where let's say for an example, if you are using the payment gateway like PayPal or any other international payment gateway, if their MCP server is available, you can configure it out, or maybe they are offering some API, you can connect that out as well over here. But again, so much. I mean, generally with the agents, people are not doing the payments because I haven't come across with those use cases so far. But maybe if you can just explain your use case, maybe I can just research around and see like what level of complexity is there. Of course, like it's matter of like okay, API endpoint, and that's something you need to have as a custom connector. and then you can call it out here, and couple of limitation like 2 minute within your payment transfer is should be completed, because if you're not getting the response within 2 minutes from here, you will lose the connection basically. So that's one thing. But generally for these chat agents, people are not doing that. But yeah, happy to hear from you.
Yeah, I mean, just whenever you are explaining that MCP, in case if you have any scenario or when you are researching, just throw some light on that one.
Yeah, sure. If I find something, I'll definitely. But so far, practically, I didn't see any use case around that. Even with my customer or anyone didn't. Generally, they do it on the website, but not on the chat agent. Yeah,
Mm. Okay, thank you.
perfect. Next, I can see Reason from Gopi.
Yeah, hi Dhruvin. May I know the purpose of environment variables in, for example, we have used in Power Apps. When we have to publish this app, we are using environment variables, right? Because data sources is different.
Correct.
Yeah. Same thing in here also.
Yes, same thing here as well. So here there are different tools you are configuring with the environment variable. So in previous classes, we had the Dataverse table, we had the SharePoint list connected, SharePoint list. We created an item for the PO creation and all, right? So
Yeah.
in all those places, let's say if you want to make it more dynamic in a fashion, at that time you can utilize your environment variable. At that time it's same like at your solution level, whatever variables that you are having, you can consume the same variable over here in your Pilot Studio as well.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Anyone else has any other question before we go? Yeah, go ahead. Anyone? Okay, I do not see any more raised hand at this point, so looks good. Now it's a reaction time. Just give me the reactions, at least the language translation part and localization part, how to customize a JSON file. If it is clear for everyone, just give me some reaction so I just understand that part. Okay, perfect. Okay, now we'll go one more level up from here. We'll talk about one more feature called component inside the world of Copilot Studio. Okay, again, same like agent flow, right? Agent flow, some of the actions are available as a preview and it's not stable at this point. Similar way, this component topic is also something which is unstable at this point in the production purposes. But why they have introduced that concept and what are the future scope around that, that's what I want to cover up. So that's why I'm covering that topic. But right now, if you are building any agent for the production purpose, don't create any component for that. Okay, it has so much implications around that. So first of all, let me just talk about that. And second thing, before we move, I just wanted to bring up this thing, said, okay, whatever language related stuff are there and what are the references I use for that, I did everything here. So make sure you check the reference linking first, because this content is something which I updated today. Okay, so maybe in the future, Microsoft has some updates. Probably you will find out from this particular link. So in January, there was no generative AI support for the language, but now they have introduced that. So maybe in the future, there is a chance that the methodology for the language translation being changed a little bit. Okay, so just consider that thing in the mind and always use these references for yourself. All right, and now we'll start our journey with the component. Okay, so first of all, let's try to understand in a simple language like what is component, right? So simply, like most of us are from Power Platform background. Okay, so let me just explain few things into that terminology so it's very easy for you to adopt it. So generally in the Power Apps, what is component? So component is a reusable element. So let's say for an example, you created header element, you created left navigation, you created footer, right? And now if you want to utilize the same object to the multiple pages, or let's say you want to utilize to multiple Power Apps application, at that time usually you create as a component library. And that component library you can utilize at two different places. So you don't need to create your object every time. It just create it one and use it at multiple times. Exact same concept is here as well for Copilot Studio as well, that it supports the methodology for component. So let's say for an example, this is one topic that you created today, right? Like book a holiday, or maybe you have created a topic, let's say you created another topic called change a language, and that is something which is required, and in most of the scenario, like whenever you create multilingual topic. So maybe all the common topics you want to configure at one places. So whenever any new agent that you are creating and you want to utilize those topics, you don't need to recreate that entire thing again and again for you. Okay. So there should be some sort of mechanism for that. And that concept is called as a component. Okay. Component can include anything. It can include your topic. It can include your tool. It can include your tool as well. There are many things like your connector, your custom connector, your agent flow, your power automate flow, your prompt, so many things. So it cover everything within the component. Okay. And remember one thing, components are solution aware object, which means that in order to start with the component, you must need to have a solution. Without solution, you can't be able to start with the component. Okay. Now let's see it practically so you will feel it better. Okay. So first of all, in order to get started, let me just go to the solution first. So as I said, component can always be created in the solution. So your solution should be present first. Okay. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going here. And I'm just creating one more solution over here on my screen first. Create a new solution. I'm just creating here Copilot Studio A12 publisher. I'm selecting my trainings and create this out. Okay, create your solution over here first. Okay, and now what you can do here is go to your agent. So this is your agent Travelment that we recently created, right? Now let's say I want to templatize couple of things, that book a holiday. This is my custom topic. I want to add that into my template so that in future I will create similar kind of thing. I don't need to recreate it. Or I have this knowledge source. I want to configure that knowledge source as well as my template. So I don't need to configure the knowledge source every time for the other agent. Okay. For that, there is one amazing feature available here, which is again unstable. I'm saying it right now. Okay, it's in preview at this point. What you need to go is simply clicking on the setting gear from the Copilot Studio. And over there is an option called collection, component collection. Go there. When you click on component collection, it will provide you two options over here. Create a new collection for yourself. Create a component collection. It's a fairly simple one. And again, like simple meaning itself, they have explained that it can be used into multiple agents. Click on create if you want to start from the scratch. Let's provide the name of your component solution. So I'm just providing um, booking component, booking component. Okay, and I will say this component has some common topics and knowledge sources, knowledge bases for travel booking. Okay, and as I said, it's a solution aware object, so you need to provide the solution for that first. So over here, whatever solutions that you have in your environment, it will show you first. So simply select your solution. So I'm selecting my solution here called Copilot Studio Day 12 and click on next. Now what is this? Now let me show you this. So this is like add content to the collection, which means that whichever Copilot Studio agent that you created, currently my agent is booking agent. Okay. In booking agent right now, how many topics I have, how many tools I have, how many knowledge source I have, it will show you everything. So you can see 14 topics are there. It will show system topic as well as custom topic, every topic. Okay. If you go to the tools, that detect language custom prompt we have, it's showing me this, and knowledge source, this website that we have configured, right? Now how many things you want to templatize, or how many things you want to add in the component, you need to select that first. And for that, what I'm doing here is I'm selecting this topic, one topic, book a holiday topic. Okay. Apart from that, I will add this knowledge source, and probably I will add this tool, this three thing into one component. Okay. Now, let me not add tool. Let me just add this one and this one. Two things I'm adding. Okay. Then you click on next. So it will show you that, okay, review your content. So currently you have added these two things over here for yourself as a one package. So you just use it out and let's click on create now. And once you do this, this is what it will create the component for you. Okay, let's see. It will take some moments in order to create it out. And here you are. You can see that these things are added as a template for you or component for you. Now you can utilize that into multiple places. And now you can see that currently it is by default showing you that it is installed on your own agent. So you have your agent TravelMate. So on that TravelMate agent, this is installed at this point. Okay. Now next, let's say for an example, now I want to reutilize it. Then what is the way to do it? Okay. And as soon as you create the component and at the time, if you refresh your solution over here, let me just refresh it out. It will show all the artifacts that are added as a part of component. Okay, let's see. And here I am. See, it added one additional section over here called agent component collection. And inside that, it has your whole booking component added over here for yourself. Okay, so this is being added into solution, right? Now, the $1,000,000 question is now what is the purpose and what is the reutilization over here? Okay, now let me show you that where the power come up with. Okay, now remember one thing. Whenever you are creating this component or wherever you want to customize this component, you require certain set of access. Okay, so minimum system customizer role is required in order to customize this template, okay, or component. Without system customizer access, you can't be able to do any kind of customization over there. Okay, remember one thing. What is that role? I'm going to talk about in a moment. So just wait for it right now. Park the permission at this point. Okay, but this is how it looks like. Now I'm done with this. Looks good to me. Okay, and currently it is into this environment. Okay, now over here you can always look at the detail for the component in the detail, like what exactly it has, and you can see the detail that okay, it has this topic, it has this a knowledge, and this is how it looks like. Okay, now over here it provides you the option that currently it is installed into TravelMate agent. But let's say if you want to add the same component to any other agent, so click on add agent and you can see other agents are showing to you over here. And you know the recently variable demo one that you created, right? Let's say for an example, I want to add that into here. So I can simply select that and click on add. So at that time, this component will be added over there as well. Okay, but no, I'm not doing at this point. Okay, this is first place where you can add that to the another agent. Or let's say for an example, if you don't want to do it into this fashion, simply open the target agent where you want to use that. So let's say this is my variable demo. This is what we just created, right? So I'm opening this variable demo agent. Currently, you can see that if you look at the topic, I do not see any, I mean, topic 1, 2, 3 I have, but not any other things, right? So what can I do here is I can go to the setting. I can go to the component collection here. Okay, and you can go to the available section and you can see here that here as well your booking component is available. Let's say if you want to use this out, you can click on these three dots over here, and from as well you can add this to agent. And when you add this to agent, what happens? Let's see. As soon as you add this agent, it will be installed on this agent and it will show you that this is installed, and it will show you in which agent it is installed. So it is installed into variable demo and in TravelMate. Both the places it's being installed perfectly. Okay, so it's done. And now if you go, click on cancel. And now if you go to the topics over here, it will show you that that thing to you, and it always have this kind of symbol that whenever you use the component collection, it has this kind of symbol added over here. Okay, and you can see in this variable demo now it has added this book a holiday topic completely for you like this, right? And let's see if I'm going back here. Okay, and if I'm going to the knowledge source, it has added the knowledge source as well for you. Okay, so you can see over here as well, you can see the same icon is added over here into this fashion. Okay, now this is the reusability, right? So I mean, just imagine I have a similar thing over there, then I don't need to customize it by my own. I don't need to write the whole book a holiday topic by my own. It's already available, which you are already using somewhere else, and which you can use it out here as well for you. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Okay, now, this is what the reusable. Okay, so anything like, let's say sometimes you have added multiple action like create an item into SharePoint, create an item into Dataverse table, right? This type of things you have added into the agent, right? And now you think that, okay, here as well, I need the same thing. Maybe you can just use it as a component. Okay, and uh, do it out. Okay, but let me tell you one limitation over here at this point in July 2025 about this approach. Okay, and to prove the limitation, I want to do one thing here side by side so you can literally fill that limitation over here. Okay, so let's say currently I have this variable demo1. Let me duplicate this tab over here and let me just make it out, and let me same time just going here. I'm just making here. Okay, this is my variable demo agent. And this time I will open here my another agent called TravelMate. Okay, and where it comes as a limitation, let me show you that as well. So you can see here, this is my component topic. So we have added that topic in a component, right? Let me open that topic at the both the places right now. I'm opening it here. I'm opening it over here as well. Okay. Now, let me tell you one thing here. Generally, how the component concept is working in any language, that there should be single source of truth. Okay, which means that ideally it should be updated only from the central place where the component is created. So component is originally created into this one, TravelMate, right? And it's also in your solution as well, right? Now let's say for an example, as a user, I'm just going here, right? I'm a developer. I just go to my variable demo, and let's say for an example, if I'm just doing like this, that what's your name? Tell me please. Okay, I'm just updating this thing over here. Okay, I'm just saving this thing now. Okay, now let me just refresh the screen over here as well. And I'm just opening my book a holiday topic. And see, this is what it is happening as a mess. So you updated here and it is updated here. Conceptually, they are right. Like, okay, if you make a changes at one place, it should reflected everywhere because it's a component, right? But it should have the one source of truth, which means that it should not be like, okay, let's say for an example, if I've used this component to 10 different agent, right? And 10 different developers are working on the different agent. And let's say one person is coming here and completely deleting this question, then the other agent as well, it will delete it, right? It should not be like that. There should be lacking of some feature like, okay, if you make the changes, do at one place, publish it out, then only it will reflect everywhere. Not like on the fly you make it and it will reflect everywhere. Or maybe if you are reutilizing it at multiple places, there should be some option available. Like, okay, if you are customizing it here, then it will reflect that customization only to this agent, not to all the agent. This functionality is really lacking at this point, and that's the reason why I am hesitating personally to utilize this feature for the production, because there is no meaning right now. If I'm even creating a component and if I'm reutilizing it multiple places, and just imagine someone make one change, it reflect everywhere without any publish feature or anything, right? It's the nightmare for us as a developer, because every component, like maybe here there is a possibility that I need additional two questions, but here I need the exact same template. So there should be the local scope as well available, that okay, if you are using component, no worries, but whatever changes you are making, it should be available only for this one, not everywhere. So that is where the biggest gap at this point into this particular feature, but hopefully in the future it will be becoming more stable and we can have some better result around that. But this is how the component feature looks like into the world of Copilot Studio. Simple, reusability is the purpose, but still it's in preview and it's not stable because with this limitation that I just spoke about at this point. Hopefully they will work on that in the future and we can have some better features around that. But so far right now, this is what it is. Okay. Now I would like to pause here for a moment. If anyone has any question, at least on the component part, like conceptually how it works, maybe I'm happy to answer your question or answer your queries if anyone has. Okay, or maybe just give me at least the reactions that what is component, how to create the component and how to add that to the agent. If that part is clear for everyone, maybe just at least give me the reactions on that point. If everyone is following with me so far. Okay, perfect. All right. Okay. Now, from here, now as we are learning and exploring this whole component concept and all right. Now the next question come up into picture that what about permission, Dhruvin? Because now again, component part as well, the permission is required. But again, some another question also come up into our mind that okay, so far, we check the publishing of the agent. So we publish our chatbot agent into Microsoft Teams. We use the different authentication in the previous episode, like we use that what's the Microsoft authentication? We use the uh, client ID, client secret authentication, and we use public authentication as well. Okay. Now the question arises that okay, we distributed the agent for the end user. Okay, but let's say I want to manage some permission to developer wise. So let's say for an example, I'm working on this TravelMate. Now I want to share this TravelMate agent with the another developer with certain set of functionality that he can play around it and he can start working on that. So how can I share my agent with the another developer? That's what I wanted to talk about here. Okay, but before that, we need to look out some basic permission concepts inside the world of Dataverse. Okay, because that is something which is very very important for us, and again to as an administrative perspective it is very very important. Okay, so for that, first of all, let me do some rough work for you guys. Okay, so let me just open up my notepad, just give me a minute. I'm just sharing my screen again. Okay, so whenever we are working with the Copilot Studio, three things we need to consider in our mind. Okay, number one is your agent authentication. Okay, and that agent authentication, I think we already covered in our SharePoint class. Okay, at that time we talked about these three things, and let me show you visually so you will be able to relate it more. So whenever we go to the settings and whenever we go to the authentication security part over here, this is what we discussed in the previous session already. Like what do we mean by no authentication, authenticate with Microsoft, and authenticate manually. Okay, so this is like authentication. Okay, and that authentication is something which is useful for end users when they are accessing the agent. Okay, second important aspect we need to think in the mind for the developer as well. Developer who are both creator. Okay, boot creator, or you can say is as an agent creator. Okay, for them what level of access is required. Okay, so for that we need to understand some out of the box roles which are available at the Dataverse level. Okay, again, people who has attended my Power Apps class, maybe probably they are aware about this thing. Like whenever we are talking about Power Apps, right, we had the dedicated one complete 2 hour session only on the security where I'm explaining the Dataverse security. Like we are having the different roles available, like okay, what is environment maker, environment maker, then a basic user, what is system customizer, what is system administrator, right? How you can create your custom role. Okay, this is all the topics in detail when we go with the power apps thing and the overall database thing. But right now at the Copilot Studio level, what are the roles available and which user must need to have if they want to do any customization at the agent level when you are sharing the agent with someone else, right? So now let me talk about that. But before that, let me just talk about two important roles that we must need to understand here. Okay. First one is basic user. Second one is environment maker. Third one is system customizer. Fourth one is system administrator. Okay, these are common Power Platform roles. Okay, no matter if you are using Power Apps or Power Automate or Copilot Studio or whichever Power Platform component, you need to always deal with this thing. And let me just tell you in a simple word, because I don't want to go into nth level of detailing over here, because most of the time Power Platform side you are using these particular roles. So let me tell you what is the permission level works in the environment level. This is like a list level. When only user want to play something, they can use this one. Okay, so this is like list level of privileges. Environment level is +1 than the basic user. So at least they can able to create the app, they can able to create the flow, but not like too much things. They are still able to do that. System customizer is a very important role. So it is more than environment maker. Okay, and second thing is that any kind of solution process someone want to do it, any solution customization can only be able to achievable with the help of minimum system customizer role. Okay, and as I said, this component topic that we learned so far, right? If you want to customize your uh, components specifically in the Copilot Studio, you need system customizer approach. Okay, again, if you want to export and import the solution or anything, you need minimum system customizer access. Okay, and system administrator is the highest level of privileges, which means that you have everything in your control, you have every access of your application. Okay, this is like a highest level of privileges. All right, now for port configuration, what are the roles which are available at the admin center level? Let me show it to you right away. First, practically. So whatever role that I'm talking about, you want to explore that role out, then go here into setting gear and go to the Power Platform Admin Center from here. Let's go. When you go to Power Platform Admin Center, basically this will open up this kind of interface for you. Okay, and go to the manage section over here and look at your environment. So this is my environment, Copilot Studio batch 23. Open that up. Now go to the security role option. When you go to the security roles over here, it will start loading the security roles available for that specific environment. Turn off this option and it will explore you all the roles over here. Okay. Now over here, let me just show you the role that I've just talked about. So basic user is this role, which is having list permission. Another is environment maker role, which is this role. Okay. Third one is system customizer and system administrator. It is this role. It's created by default when the system is set up for the first time. Okay. Now for Copilot level, there are three important roles available. Search for the boot. And these three roles are this one: boot author, boot contributor, and boot transcript viewer. These three roles are available. Okay, let me just write down now those things into my notepad. Okay, and see it side by side. Okay, so Copilot level, what are the roles are there? Boot author, boot contributor, and both transcript viewer. Okay. Again, these things are something which are out of the box role, which are available with the system itself. Okay. Now, what is the purpose of these three particular role over here which are available? Okay. So let me just talk about that thing over here. So the very first thing is boat author. What's the role for that? When you have boat author role, you can create and edit the copilot. Okay, create the copilot or edit the copilot. Okay, so which means that with this permission, okay, if you want to create any new agent or if you are already shared with any existing agent, you will be able to do that thing. Okay, so you can do that much of customization. Second is contributor. Okay, if you are having only contributor access, you can only update any existing copilot. Okay, you cannot be able to create any new copilot. Okay, update any existing copilot. And last one is transcript viewer. Okay, now transcript viewer role is something which is generally utilized for the admins who want to see the transcript of the chat agent. Currently, I haven't covered up about the transcript, which is my upcoming class topic. So what is transcript? So the way you are communicating with your agent, right? It captures the whole history of the agent, that how many transactions are successful, how many are failed, what did you type in the chat window, right? I want to capture that as an entire transcript. Okay, so behind the scene, it stored that entire entry into Dataverse table. So for that, this role is required. So generally, your admins in your organization who want to see the overall conversation with the agent, they can basically use this transcript viewer option. Okay, so both transcript view is specifically for uh, admins who want to see the transcript of the history. Okay, transcript. All right. Now the question arises that in your mind that Dhruvin, I understand this. This is like your Power Platform role. This is your agent role. Okay. Now tell me one thing, that if any developer want to start their journey, and let's say I don't want to provide them as a full system administrator access, then what minimum list privileges you can supply over there for themselves? Okay. I would say, let's say for an example, if you want your developer to utilize component and all those feature, then you need to supply minimum system customizer and boot author access at least. So they can create a new agent, they can edit any existing agent, they can even work with the component, and they can export, import, and everything. They will be able to do that. So this is like a list privileges. At least you need to supply to the developer in order to work into that fashion. Okay, let's say if you don't want to allow user any new creation agent role, then maybe you can do around this way: system customizer and board contributor. Any one of this you can apply it out. Let's say for an example, you don't want uh, that person to update any component, then maybe you can just go with this. Provide them environment maker and maybe boat author, so they can still create a agent, or maybe they can still edit the existing agent and able to edit the tool or knowledge base or topics, but do not be able to do with that that component. But rest of the things, at least they will be able to do that out for themselves. Okay, so you can go with this combination as well. So it's totally up to you how you want to uh, provide as a different role to your user. Okay, now let me show you how you can share now this to the other developer. Okay, I'm just talking about developer to developer. Okay, because for end users we already covered. I mean, for end users we don't need to do anything in the Dataverse level. End users is always like a authentication level, which we already talked about. Okay, now let me do one thing. I'm just going to my environment here in admin center. This is my stuff. Okay, and now let me pick up one of my user over here. So I have one user called contact. Okay, contact at the rate powerplatformtrainings.com. I'm just opening this contact stuff here, and I'm going to manage role over here. Okay, and at this point, let me just assign him like boat author role, this one role. Okay, and I'm assigning the environment maker role to him. Okay, I'm not assigning very complex role to him at this point. Okay, click on save. I just assigned these two roles at this point. Okay, only two roles, that's it. And now what I'll do here is I'm just going to my agent, and this travel mate agent, I want to share it. So I can simply click on that. And when you click on that, there is an option here. Go to the three dots and share. When you click on share, there is an option to share with the user. So let's say I'm selecting it for contact@powerplatformtrainings.com. Okay, and here you can define it whether you want to provide editor access or viewer access. So of course I want, this is my developer, so I want to provide him an editor access. And again, it is at least saying me that okay, editors are automatically assigned to one or more of the following security role. This is required to be used for the agent. So at this point, whatever I explained, this is what exactly it is saying, that okay, if that person is developer, maybe I'm just giving them environment maker access, transcript viewer access, and Power Automate user access, because Power Automate as well they require. So at least it is doing that automatically. Even if you are doing it manually, that's totally fine as well. Okay, but it will do it when you provide the editor access. And again, this is a great improvement, so we don't need to worry too much about that. They understand the list privileges and they are providing it here. Okay, now let's click on update, or just copy the link from here and click on update. So as soon as you do this thing out, this agent is shared with that contact user, okay, that we supplied over here. Now what I'm doing here is, as a developer, I'm opening my contact account now. Okay, Power Platform Training contact. Okay, and many times it will not instantly available, guys. Okay, so we just need to wait. Let's see if it is available instantly for me or not. Usually it is taking 5 to 10 minutes in order to or sometimes for a bigger organization it is taking around 30 minutes to reflect your changes once you are assigning the specific role to the people. Okay, but let me just try this thing out right now. So I'm doing this make dot automate.com. Let me sign in. Now I'm just opening my Copilot Studio. Sign in. Just extending this trial. Okay, this is my dev environment, right? I'm just going there. It will ask me for the sign in again. Just signing in. And now if I'm just going to the agent section, see, this is what I shared with. So I can see only this thing. Okay, so this is what we just shared from this account. This is Dhruvin account, who is the owner, and this is as a developer we just apply as a change. Okay, so right now you can see as a Dhruvin, who is the admin of this environment, he can see multiple agent, but the person who is having the environment maker access and both author access, they can see only the application, only the agent which is shared with them. They cannot see any other agent over here. Okay, so they can see this. Now let's say they want to do any customization, because we provided the both author access as well to them. So let's see what level of customization I will be able to do it over there. So I'm just going here. Okay, and now let's see if I'm going to this topic. Okay, and let's see if I want to add any new topic over here called change language. Okay, and I'm saving it out. Change language. Click on save. Okay, I'm able to do that out because I have the editor access. I can do any existing change. I can do new agent as well. Okay, so at least it's working fine. But where I will stuck with this role, now let me tell you that. So I have this topic already, book a holiday, right? And currently I don't have the system customizer permission. Now let's say I want to customize this now. I am just adding some content here, and let me just try to save this out. Okay, and it will throw me the error that this error is stating that you don't have the enough permission. Okay, because as I said, when we work with the component, if you want to add any existing component object, you need minimum system customizer access. Without system customizer access, you will not be able to make any changes over here. But let's say if you don't have the component, rest of the thing you can still be able to manage it out. Now let's say for an example, I want to now, okay, that's fine. But now I want that developer should able to edit the component as well. So what can I do? I can just go to my admin center again. I can select my user and I can assign one more role to them, which is system customizer role. Scroll down a little bit and from here, search for system customizer. Select this role and click on save. Click on save. And as soon as you do that, refresh the user. So at least role will be reflect faster. Again, sometimes, as I said, it will not immediate change. Sometimes it's taking 30 minutes in order to reflect the changes, but we refresh it. So probably it should reflect immediately. Let's see. Now, let me refresh it now here as well, because now the system customizer role is granted to me. Okay, and now what we can do here is click on this. I just go to the topic, co-holiday topic, and let's verify the change now. Let's say I just added some sort of question change over here now, and let's try to save it. And now you can see I'm able to successfully save it out because now I have the system customizer role. Okay, now let me tell you one more thing. As soon as the system customizer role is granted to the user, they can able to see all the agents available in the environment, no matter if it is being shared with them or not, because system customizer having the highest privileges. Okay, so let's say if you want your developer not to seeing the other agent or not seeing the touch the other agent, then just grant them the environment maker plus boat author role. Don't grant them the system customizer role. This is the point I want to prove here, because earlier we had only the basic user, environment maker role. At the time, none of this is visible for them. We shared only this to them and they are able to only access them. But now we assign the system customizer because we want to allow them to edit the um, component and all. So when you enable that, I mean, system customizer has the highest privilege, second highest privileges, so they can able to check it out all the agents over here. So depending on your use case, you need to provide appropriate permission to the developer in order to access the agent. But this is how the overall role management in the Copilot Studio looks like. Simple three things: basic user, environment maker, system customizer, system admin. These are the Dataverse level. Both author, both customizer, and both transcript viewer. When you share it, minimum environment maker plus both author is fine for the developer. But let's say if your component provides system customizer plus both author. Okay, contributor only they can edit an existing one but not able to create a new one. Okay, so depending on your need, assign the appropriate role to appropriate developer. Okay, so this is all about the security that I wanted to cover as a part of Copilot Studio. And whatever thing that I spoke about as a part of theory, I added over here as well as a step that what are the things you need to consider in your mind or not consider in your mind. I just added it over here. Okay, so this is all about uh, overall Copilot Studio security. Okay, still one topic is something which is pending, which I didn't teach you so far. That let's say if you want to deploy your agent to org wide, like you want to configure to the teams, but you don't want manual installation. It should be automatically distributed when so new person is coming up, or maybe any existing teams they are having. If you want to auto install that, how you can do that, we will show that. We will see that in the upcoming class. Okay, but this is all about the security topic for the today that I wanted to cover up. And this was the last topic for today. And maybe on Monday, we will cover up some more other advanced topics with this continuation. Okay. But before that, I would like to pause here for a moment. If anyone has any question or anything on the security part, I'm happy to help you and happy to cover up at this point. So anyone has any question or uh, just raise up your hand. Okay, I do not see any more raised hand at this point. Maybe just give me the reaction that this security part is pretty much clear for everyone. Maybe at least the you understand the role and you know what level of role or how to share the agent. Maybe if that part is clear, maybe happy to I mean just raise up, give the reaction. Okay, all good. Anything else? Anyone has anything else before we still have 5 minutes? If anyone has any topic, even from any previous classes till up to 12th class, anything if you want to bring up, I'm happy to cover up right now. I'm happy to answer. Otherwise, it's Friday. You can end up earlier as well if you want. Okay, I do not see any more raised hand at this point, so looks good. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending. Have a great Friday evening ahead and happy weekend, and see you on the Monday class. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Happy weekend.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Happy weekend.
Yeah.